Welcome to this trauma-informed yoga class for spinal decompression. This is meant to make your spine feel nice and long and relaxed. This class is not appropriate if you have been diagnosed with osteoporosis, which is a condition where the bones can be weaker in your body, as we go into a lot of spinal flexion in this class, and that is not appropriate for osteoporosis. It might be nice to consult a healthcare practitioner with any exercise routine. Let's get started. We are going to start on hands and knees today. If you are someone who has some wrist pain or knee pain, you can grab a pillow or a towel, something to comfort those areas. If you don't, you can join me on hands and knees right away. And we'll warm up the spine a little bit before we get into the decompression or the flexion parts. On an inhale, you can lower your stomach to the ground, let that tailbone go up, get a little bit of an arch throughout the low back. And then on an exhale, you can do the opposite here, round throughout the spine, the chin goes to chest, tailbone goes under. Inhale, lower the stomach to the ground again, tailbone goes up. And exhale, round throughout the spine. You can move through a few of these at your own pace, really just getting some movement in the spine. If you would like, you could even do some circles with the body, going round and round, or you can do side to side, kind of wiggle the hips around, really just warming up the back muscles and the joints. When you feel warm and comfortable here, we'll move into a child shape, taking those knees to the width of your mat. Your feet can come together. And then bring your body back towards your feet. Your arms can go as far forward as you can so that we're getting a nice lengthening throughout the entire spine here. So thinking about pushing the ground away from you with your hands, really pushing forward, and at the same time thinking about sinking those hips backwards. So a nice full stretch here. And as always, this is really about your comfort. If something feels like too much, it doesn't feel good, you want to move into a different shape, you can absolutely do that. If your neck is feeling the call to rest or your head is feeling the call to rest, you can rest it gently on your mat as well. A few more breaths. Really thinking of those opposite movements in the body, the pushing forward of the arms and the back of the hips. Your next exhale, coming back up to that 4-point as if we're going to do cat-cow again, but we're not. We're going to move into downward dog. So bring those fingers nice and wide. If downward dog is not in your practice, you can join me in standing because that's where we'll be moving to next. So fingers wide, going up on the balls of the toes there, and then pushing down through the hands and lifting those knees up, lifting those hips backwards and away. Once again here, really pushing down through the hands, bringing those shoulders in line with the ears. Your feet do not have to be flat. But we're once again thinking a little bit of opposite movements here, back with the hips and down with the arms and shoulders. Take one breath here if you'd like. And then slowly walk your feet up more to the top of your mat to reach your hands. We'll work through some spinal flexion here in standing. So you could bend your knees as much as you need. This is the first time we're doing this today. So if your back or your hips feel tight, absolutely bend the knees as much as you need. You could grab a block, a pillow, a book, something to put your hands on too. But really try and think about letting the body go here. Letting that back relax. Letting that head relax. On your next breath, wherever you are, take those hands flat to the ground. You can bend those knees, and we're just going to crawl those legs backwards, like we're going back onto all fours, and then back into that child shape. So knees go wide again, hips go backwards, arms go forwards. And pushing down with the hands, away with the hands, and back with those hips. Just as with the first time, if you want your head to rest, feel free. If your arms get tired, you can always bend the elbows and just let them relax. On your next breath, coming back to all fours once again, we're going to move into that same sequence, so downward dog and then coming up to standing. So fingers nice and wide, pushing down through the palms, up onto the toes, and then push those hips back behind you, push those hands down, bring those ears or that head between the arms. Maybe you walk the legs out side to side this time, get a bit more movement through the hips. And then we can walk the feet up again to meet near the hands. Now, different variations this time depending on what you'd like. Just like the last time, if you want a block or a book to put your hands on, feel free. If you want to rest your hands on the ground, that's fine. Two other options. One would be to take your hands to your opposite elbows and just really kind of gently pull on the elbows and allow your body to rest. Another option would be to take your hands palm facing up and place the palms of your hands underneath your feet. And then you can push down with your feet and up with your hands and get a little pull that way too. So choose the version for you. We'll stay here for a couple breaths. If it feels like too much, it doesn't feel comfortable, of course you can come out earlier than that. On your next breath, take those hands down, bend through those knees, and then come onto your back. Once on your back here, you can keep the knees bent to start and just windshield wiper those knees side to side so we get a little bit of a different movement throughout the spine here. And then I invite you to take your right knee, bring it up to your chest, give it a hug. You could straighten that bottom leg if that feels good for you. This is still flexion throughout the spine. We're just in a different shape here. We're on our back instead of standing or on all fours. As you're here, try and relax the upper body and the jaw and the chest, the neck. On an exhale, you're going to switch sides here. That left knee is going to come to chest. The right leg's going to go out. Bending through the hip, through the back here, but just as on the other side, trying to relax at the same time. And I invite you to take your right knee, bring it up with your left one. So now you have both knees bent. Hugging those knees to chest and maybe rocking side to side or doing some gentle circles with the spine. Switching directions if you'd like. And then finally, lowering those legs as long as you can. Bringing those arms up above your head, big stretch. And on an exhale, let everything go. Come to the final resting shape. And just allowing the body to rest here. Allowing the back to relax, all the muscles to let go. You can rest here as long as you'd like. If there's any of those shapes that felt really nice for your back, you can always go back and do those again. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.